In today's video, we're going to talk about the Flash movie that is coming out in June. Although based on Warner Bros. Pictures and Warner Bros. Discovery's marketing, you would think it comes out before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which comes out in May, because there is more marketing going around for a movie that's coming out in the summer than there is for Guardians. Separate studios, I know. I'm just trying to make a difference here that you would think the Flash is coming out first because there is so much marketing going on for that, and literally nothing going on for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Wushed you here with a video on the Flash. If you're new around, and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, kaiju, pop culture-based content that we try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. Are you anticipating seeing Tim Burton's version again of the Batman, Michael Keaton in the daylight? I must admit, in the most recent 5-second TV tease, it's very weird to see Michael Keaton Batman out in the daylight with a clear sky, because you're usually seeing him with a dark, gritty nighttime vibe in his own movie. And also, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also check us out on Twitter, WarStewG. Right, let's get into this video. So, as we know, CinemaCon is coming up on the 25th of this month, which is a week on Tuesday. People will have the opportunity to go and watch the Flash movie. They probably will have to sign some kind of non-disclosure agreement, but the plot leaks, the test screen information will be confirmed and verified. So after the 25th, plot leaks, information, spoilers will already be out there, but real spoilers have already been out there for over the past year. And what Warner Bros. Discovery, Warner Bros. Pictures are going to do is keep essentially ruining their own movie, because they've already shown enough footage with the new teaser. We get more looks at Batfleck, more looks at Sasha Calle Supergirl, more looks at Michael Keaton Batman, and the more they keep showing you, I get it, it's a very long movie, kind of. It's like Batman No Way Home. People get triggered when I say that. But Michael Keaton's in this movie that much, he's basically a second main lead to a certain degree. So there will be a lot of Batman, and there will be a lot of spoilers when we get trailer 2 on April the 25th. But it is worth looking at the analytics and the stats from the first trailer that came out over 2 months ago, because people keep telling me comic book movie of the year. So trailer got 15 million views 2 months ago. On June the 16th, Worlds Collide, 240,000 likes, 26 dislikes. I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's compare it to Into the Spideyverse, which comes out literally the same month. So, Into the Spideyverse, trailer 1, Across the Spideyverse, 33 million views 4 months ago. Now, I know what people would say, trailer views don't correlate to anything, but I've had loads of people in my DMs going, oh, yeah, this Flash movie is going to be the biggest thing ever. Well, this movie comes out the same month, 885,000 likes, 20,000 dislikes, and this movie comes out in June the same month. You could argue it is the Flash's biggest competition. So, they've already got trailer 2 out, 35 million views, 11 days ago. 510,000 likes, 14,000 dislikes. So, the Flash has stiff competition, for sure. And this is even before you factor in the other factors that Indiana Jones comes out the same month, usually does well. Transformers movie comes out the same month. There's about 12 movies coming out in June. So, if I was ahead of Warner Bros., I would not release this movie in June, because there is too much competition. So, I do find double standards. in the world. So, this movie has apparently been done for such a long time. Then we find out the composer is currently editing the album for the movie. So the movie is done. People have seen it. Tom Cruise seen it. So you're telling me Tom Cruise seen a movie that isn't properly done with VFX and everything done properly? So why I mention this is because over the weekend, we had a bunch of teaser trailers come out, and Ezra Miller's run-in still looks like a PlayStation 2 video game. I'm going to overlay the image or the clip right now. It depends how I edit it. But it's all right to criticize Marvel when their VFX and CGI is off. I've seen so many posts saying this. Stop judging a movie before it comes out. Okay, cool story, bro. So you're allowed to do this for every Marvel movie, but you can't do it for DC because you've got to judge it when the VFX is 100% done. Well, I hate to tell you this, but if you're showing Tom Cruise the movie, I sure as hell hope the movie is fully edited properly. So we get a new look at Batfleck, and it looks shocking. What have they done to his face? If you put a side-by-side on Zack Snyder's version of Batfleck and then Andy Muschietti's version of Batfleck in a trailer, I get it's a trailer, but the trailer is supposed to be a tease. It's supposed to be a representation of the finished product of the movie. Otherwise, that's very misleading. So I really hope this movie isn't done in terms of VFX, isn't done in terms of CGI, but you got to understand, they are showing this movie off at CinemaCon on the 25th, and they're not going to be showing it off unless the movie's done 100% in terms of VFX and post-production. So that is my point. That is my point here. James Gunn saying, yeah, it might be one of the best movies I've ever seen. And then in this little TV spot, I'll try and include it, we see Michael Keaton Batman out in the daylight. Out in the daylight? What are they doing? If you want to show flaws when it comes to editing, don't show Batman in the daylight. Such flawed. And then we see a proper look at Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and it looks like they're all fighting Zod. So the main villain of this movie is supposed to be Zod, okay? Right, let's get the parallel of a multiverse here. So Zod looks older. Oh wait, but this is supposed to be the Zod from the Man of Steel 2013 movie. He's supposed to look the same. Now, if other studios can use de-aging software to a certain degree, Michael Shannon isn't particularly that much older, but this 6-second TV spot makes him look so much older, but he's supposed to be the same character that came down to get the codex from Superman, but obviously he's coming down thinking Superman's here, but is he? We don't know, because there's a lot of misleading information that Superman was killed as a baby leaving Krypton, and hence why we got a Supergirl, and she's raised in a different multiverse or a different parallel universe, and she's hardcore, and they go looking for Superman, and it's actually Supergirl, and I'm actually really looking forward to this. People think I'm sarcastic, but I know what it is. I hate to say this. Americans don't get English or British people's sense of humor like sarcasm. I don't know if sarcasm is a thing in America, but on Twitter, etc., I'm being sarcastic a lot of the time. So don't take anything I say too serious. As you know, if you've actually followed the channel for years, I started this YouTube channel on the Flash TV show. The Flash character is one of my, if not my favorite characters ever. He's in the intro, the outro, the banner, the logo. I absolutely love the Flash character. Yes, I give Ezra Miller's version of the Flash a hard time, a very hard time, because I don't think Ezra Miller plays a good Flash. But I've spoke to people who went to test screening, and they're like, yo, bro, you're going to change your opinion on Ezra Miller when you watch this movie. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. And I'm not being biased here. I don't even like Zack Snyder's version of the Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League either. So it's not just the case that I'm hating on it. I don't like any version of his character at the moment. So we also see a shot in this TV spot of Michael Keaton with his famous Batwing. Pretty cool shots. But I've been talking to some Michael Keaton fans, and they are very skeptical that they might overdo the nostalgia. We already know the do you want to go nuts scenes in there. They might actually ruin Michael Keaton's version of Batman just by getting him to use all his iconic, corny, famous lines in this movie. I really hope for the Tim Burton and Michael Keaton Batman fans that they don't overdo it, because nostalgia's one thing, but ruining nostalgia and ruining an iconic performance, because a lot of people's favorite Batman is Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, not for me, but a lot of people's Batman is Michael Keaton. So I really hope they don't ruin it. So, also in the news, right, careful spoilers. See, I don't know how true this part here is. So, we're going to briefly go over plot leak. So, I've been told multiple times there is a Reverse Flash tease. Now, people can say this movie isn't part of the DCU. James Gunn had no input. Okay, if that's the case, then why did they shoot a Henry Cavill Superman scene? He was going to be stuck in the Speed Force, chilling, and then Barry Allen was going to go to Kal-El Superman. Aha, so this is where you've been all the time. So, if the DC Universe Studios bosses have had no input, why the hell has that scene been taken out? Why is the Justice League Crisis tease at the end of the movie when Ben Affleck was going to do a reverse BVS and go, Barry, we're stuck. We need you. Come find us to set up Crisis down the road. So don't tell me they've had no input. They've definitely had input into this movie. So at one variation in this movie, we all know Nora Allen dies to the hands of Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash, although most Twitter scoopers don't because they're fake and they don't know anything about comic books. But yeah, let's just go over the kind of origin of how Barry Allen's mother dies. So Reverse Flash kills her. And then in Flashpoint Paradox, Barry Allen has to allow Reverse Flash to kill her again because it has to happen in the timeline. It's got to happen. So apparently there is 100% a tease for Reverse Flash. When Barry's mum is killed, a yellow figure smiles at Barry and lunges at him. Barry escapes before the yellow figure can get to him. No actor or voice. It's pretty hard to make the figure out because he's just standing in the dark and you can only see his yellow arms and red eyes. The emotional parts in this film are really good. Ezra has amazing chemistry with the woman who plays Barry's mother. And it's been said that people started crying when Barry realized he couldn't save his mother. It's a lot better than the one in the CW, according to my information. Now, if that is the case, then it's going to be very interesting because I think that was portrayed very good. I know Grant Gusting gets a lot of stick, and I know Grant Gusting's actually in this movie, although he came out recently and said, I'm not hiding some big secret. Yeah, you are, mate. We all know you're in it. It's so obvious. Been told multiple times. You've been seen on set. It's so freaking obvious, but it's not really that relevant. So if this is the case, the movie will be very good. But I've also been told there's also a Reverse Flash scene right at the end of the movie. So who is the actual villain of this movie? It's not Ezra Miller, although there's a lot of jokes around it being Ezra Miller. The main villain, you could say, is actually General Zod. Why is it General Zod? Because if you look, okay, we're not going by politics now. We're going by the trailers, right? You go by every trailer there is. They all seem to be going at General Zod, which is interesting. This is very interesting here. And this is how it's supposed to somewhat play out in a roundabout way. So they figure out a safe way to stop Zod, played by Michael Shannon, from destroying his world. Barry was about to go back in time, but someone, aka Future Barry, tried to kill him, accidentally knocked him out of the Speed Force into an alternate universe where Keaton's world's there. Sasha Care's Supergirl apparently is one of the best parts of the movie, and some calling it the best performance of the movie. Barry 1, our Barry, gets stuck in Keaton's world, finds Barry 2, who has the Flash payout. They both get Keaton, Batman, and Supergirl to fight a threat. They lose. Barry 1 and Barry 2 try to reverse time to save the universe, but it fails. Barry 1 gives up, Barry 2 doesn't. That's when Future Flash, kind of think of it in a Savitar-esque kind of way, if you like, Future Barry 2 appears, revealing he tried to repeat time and time again, multiple times failing. So instead of repeating time to stop this incident, he entered the Speed Force to kill the person who caused the incident in the first place. Barry 1, the way Ezra Barry is portrayed in the film, has him act more like Wally West or Bart Allen. He's a hybrid. He does Barry in some scenes. Apart from the scenes, Ezra acts quite like comic book Barry Allen, apparently. He gets the heart and the essence of the characters correct, and only acts like Wally and Bart hybrid in some scenes, mostly the human part, like a freaking out fangirl when he sees the Batmobile. So apparently the audience loves Ezra Miller as Barry, apparently. So Zod successfully kills Keaton, Batman, and Supergirl. Supergirl gets her neck snapped. Interesting, kind of reversing the whole Zod get his neck snapped, which is actually pretty brutal. Worse than the Superman one, according to this information. Zod kills Superman as a baby, apparently, which confirms the killing Super Baby leak was true. Shannon reprises his role as Zod. Cage is not in this movie. Keaton's world, it's Cavill before he gets killed as a baby by Zod. Future Flash and Flash have a massive race because Future Flash wants to kill him. We've seen that in trailer 1. When they do that, they travel into the multiverse. We saw a load of different universes, including Robin Pattinson's universe, Linda Carter, Adam West, Batman, and Grant Gusting. So when I said Grant Gusting's in the movie, he's actually in the movie. Superman still exists somewhat. It's left ambiguous to a certain degree. Any film or TV show, including Peacemaker, released between Man of Steel and Shazam 2 are set in the old timeline. But the upcoming Shazam 2 and Aquaman 2, apparently, potentially since Momoa has been sacked as well, are set in the old timeline. Everything after The Flash is set in the new timeline, apparently. including Blue Beetle, Green Lantern, etc. Moving on, Iris is only in a cameo. We know she's briefly in this movie. She only appears at the end when Barry's father is released from prison, and that's filmed in the UK, and we've actually got footage of that. Apparently, Warner Bros. Plan is to use Robert Pattinson in a crisis story if they ever come back to that. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if they ever come back to that, that could potentially happen. But this was in stone before James Gunn and Pete Safran and David Zaslav took over. But nothing much is known about what will happen in the new DC universe, including realistically what James Gunn has said currently. So person said the blonde girl who got casted in The Flash could be playing either a gender bender, Mirror Master, or Killer Frost. But that's them guessing because they generally don't know. And that reminds us to tell you, don't expect wild cameos. Keep your expectations low based on this information. We already know pretty much everything that happens in this movie. The Flash feels like a more classic fictional adventure in the vein of stories like Alice in the Wonderland and Wizard of Oz. Sadly, I've heard this before. Rather than a typical superhero movie. As for Ben Affleck Batman, he doesn't die. He isn't necessarily part of the new universe, although we all know if Batfleck wanted to return, they would allow him. So he hasn't been sacked. He's just out of contract, just like Henry Cavill's Superman was out of contract. And apparently there's no reference to Bart or Wally, although Ezra Miller's version of his character is supposed to somewhat act like him. So that's kind of a rundown of the most recent information I've got. But like I said, apparently James Gunn hasn't changed anything. So if he hasn't changed anything, I've just ruined the movie for you in a roundabout way. So it is fascinating to me how we're 2 months out from this movie officially coming out, and they're dropping pictures left, right, and center. Also dropping merchandise. There's a new Supergirl collectible come out exclusive to Amazon. There's also this is wild to me, lads. This next bit is wild to me. At GameStop, there's an exclusive Flash replica ring that look at the brand new look at Ezra Miller. Yeah, it's wild. This is coming courtesy of the Flash Film News Twitter page. Yeah, that's wild to me. There's already billboards out of this movie in LA, which is wild because the movie's 2 months out. So a lot of people are like, yo, bro, they didn't spend $300 million on this movie. Did they not? So they did multiple reshoots for free, like no one got paid. Yeah, but within photography is standard. Yeah, it is standard, but it's not standard to keep doing reshoots, keep retooling stuff. They've worked on this movie for a year longer. Do you not understand that costs money? So this movie may not be 300 million, but it's definitely over 200. It's huge billboards, Super Bowl advert, paying Tom Cruise to promote the movie. Batfleck coming out saying stuff. Life-size statues for the Flash will be in theaters. They're spending so much money on marketing. They didn't do any of this for Black Adam. They didn't do any marketing for Shazam 2. But that's why I said in the title, this movie is make or break for them in some capacity. Because if they don't make money, then where the hell's the money going to come from? They're currently in debt. So it's going to be cool to see this life-size statue in theaters. Will they make the UK theaters? We don't know. But I am very much looking forward to this movie. I just hope what we have seen in these most recent teaser spots when Barry Allen, the Flash, is running into Speed Force, it looks like a PlayStation 2 game. Don't get me wrong, PlayStation 2 was the GOAT at the time. It's just very fascinating. And there is so much hype about this movie. Sure, the YouTube views are low, but it is still trending. As of the weekend, it's still trending now. 2,900 people talking about the Flash. So it could potentially do very well, but we don't know. So we are just over a week away from Trailer 2. Trailer 2 has to bang because they've put that much money into this. It could literally bankrupt people. And this Flash ring, $65 for a replica ring. That is a lot of money, I think. I don't really know what dollars mean, but yeah, if that was in pounds, that would be a lot of money for a replica ring. So likewise, guys, let us know everything that you think about this movie down below. Do you like the plot leak? Do you not like the plot leak? This wasn't really a plot leak video. We're just going over a bunch of new Flash stuff because I'm very intrigued about what you guys actually think. So like always, guys, I listen to your feedback. I've recently started rendering the videos in 4K. Doesn't make a difference to me, but I've recently started rendering at a higher level, and we hopefully will be putting out much more content, and much better content is realistically what we're trying to do here. So if you got any constructive criticism, put it down below. I will listen and respond. Just don't troll me. If it is genuine criticism, just, talk straight. So like always, guys, check us out on Twitter, WarStewG. Check us out on Instagram at WarStew. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.